Okay, now. Pelagini, you're back. Nobody else has to level at the moment. Let's go see what else is about town here. Alright, you went to the rest. Durgan's Battery as an exit. Renegild's house. I'm not sure who Renegild is. Oh, hey, there's people here. Tealdor. Who are you? I don't know why I quick saved like 3 times in a row there. I was dumb on me. Man is sweating despite the cold. He opens his mouth to speak, but all that comes out is a loud hacking cough. He bends forward, bracing his hands on his sides while he heaves and gasps. After a lengthy duration, he raises a finger, still panting. Aw. Hayfrick's fault. Damn fool sent me to the other side of town, looking for you. Last he stands again. He wipes his dripping brow with the back of his hand and offers the hand to you in greeting. I know what it's like to be that cold that you talk like that. I worked in a freezer for like 4 years back when I was working retail. Back in a very crappy period of my work life. And I would come out of freezers sometimes after being in there for a very long time, talking just like this. At last he stands again. Okay, I read that already. Pick your nose and shake your hand. I'm a civilized barbarian, thank you. Keep that to yourself. He withdraws his hand and coughs again, his cheeks brightening once more. Pleasure to meet you. I'm the captain of the militia around here, and a fine job you did earlier. Really? I didn't see you during the ogre attack. See, I was guarding the Gref's rest. Somebody had to make sure those ogres didn't burn it down like they did Katie's house. Damn shame, that. He frowns and shakes his head solemnly. Yeah, shame about that guardsman that died too, that I'm guessing was under your command. I wanted to catch you before you went off running into the wilds. See, there's a few dangerous folk you might be on the lookout for. Plus, if you're heading out to Longwatch Falls, I thought you could pick up a thermal pearl for me. He looks away and twists the toe of his boot into the snow. Excuse me. You want me to find a thermal pearl for you? That's the thing. I already found it. I just need someone else to go out and get it. I saw it in the hot springs up near Longwatch Falls. Would have grabbed it myself, but that's when I looked around and saw the Lagufaith. Must have been 50 of them. He spreads his arms wide. I would have fought, but I started to wonder what the rest of Stalwart would do without me. So I ran. For the sake of the village, of course. Of course. What is a thermal pearl, anyway? They form in the hot springs. Something to do with all the minerals in the water. Smell kind of funny, but they're full of minerals. Just have to crumble them into a pint. He grins. You notice his gums are bleeding. They cure scurvy. Like I said, the pearls in one of the thermal pools near Longwatch Falls shouldn't be hard to spot. Tell me more about Longwatch Falls. Let me get a drink first. Ugh. Throat's being really stupid today. It's east of Stalwart. Got some nice views of the valley, but most folk avoid it these days. Plenty of wilder nearby, and it only takes a few inches of snow to block the pass. If you're heading out that way, I suggest talking to Thirsk. Might have something to help you deal with the Log of Faith. That's all I needed to know. Stop by Thirsk's place before you leave town. His is the house next to the mines. He's a veteran hunter and knows the wilds better than anyone. He says something about dangerous folk in the wilderness. We get our share of crazies out here. Most of them aren't even from the village. He laughs his own joke. The latest groups I've heard of were the Gleaming Society and the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull. Gleaming Society. Those are the guys that I had problems with before. But Renegild set me aside some bounty money to see if these troublemakers were taken care of. If you bring me the heads of their leaders, I'll give you the payment. I want to know about the Gleaming Society, even though I know all about the Gleaming Society. Crazy pack of radicals and wants to topple governments and kill the wealthy. Makes the War of Defiance look like a food fight. Duke Avar and the Regent of Raceris both declared them illegal, which is probably the only thing these two would agree on. Or would have before all that murder and mayhem in Defiance Bay. He frowns, scratching the back of his neck. Anyway, check Longwatch Falls to the east. That's where they were last seen. Who leads the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull? That would be Mesla. All the members of the Sisterhood worship Bareth. By sending as many folks back to the wheel as they can, he shivers. They've been poking around Durgan's battery and Will only knows why, but you can understand why no one around here was pleased to hear about it. Passed through town recently. Didn't stay long, but they stopped at the Temple of Andra. You might see if Lafta knows anything. If you come across them, be careful. They're unpredictable. Let's talk about something else. Farewell. Alright, so we need to make a stop and go see Lafka, or whatever her name is. We need to go see, excuse me. Thirsk. Check them all out in a minute. Got a couple more buildings to check here. We're almost done with town.
They've destroyed the stockade, Mother. It's...
His voice. They've destroyed the stockade, Mother.
Enough. They're gone.
She holds up a hand, but she's missing the final joint of the ring finger. But it's her voice, sharp and steely, that silences the young man. As he glowers at his toes, she turns to you with dark circles under her eyes and a smile pulled taut across her thin lips.
The deliverer of Cadnua. Thank you for making the journey. Abidan knows it's a long one.
Oh, you're the person I'm here to see about the thing.
Well, I'm sure you wagered on a more civilized welcome. Still, we're much obliged for your capable intervention.
She shoots the young man a brief but stern glare. Tenwin, how you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. He pulls a knife from his belt and an apple from his pocket and sets to work. There's a job that needs doing. That's what I'm here for.
Then far be it from me to waste your time with idle chatter.
She folds the map in her hand with quick and merciless pinch.
Stalwart isn't much more than a grease stain on a map. What roads we've got in the White March are basically tracks in the snow. And for every trader or adventurer that comes through, 3 of our own leave for good. But it weren't always so. There was a time when kings and queens sent their firstborn to these mountains, when the White March was the envy of empires.
Her eyes shine, and for an instant she looks like a much younger woman. How the mighty have fallen. What an era that must have been for the White March.
The Pargrin dwarves transformed the White March once. We could bring some of that greatness back to Stalwart. But we need the White Forge.
She raises a map and taps a spot in the middle of a white and gray expanse. Never heard of it.
Of course. Been over 200 years since anyone's felt so much as a summery breeze near it.
She smooths the creased map.
I'm hoping you can do something about that.
She ignores the young man who shakes his head at the crackling logs. How so?
We've been trying to breach Durgan's battery for over a year now. Problem is, the other expeditions can't so much as dent the front door.
She rubs at her fatigue-shadowed eyes. Tell me about these other expeditions.
12 different groups have come through at our request, and several more besides. Been hoping that one of them could clear the way through Durgan's battery. But young or old, green or seasoned, it don't seem to matter. They cast their spells, chisel at the door, and search the grounds until they've worn new treads into the old stone. The lucky ones eventually go home. Plenty more find themselves on the wrong side of a blizzard, or an ogre raiding party.
Why the sudden interest in White Forge?
We're an old mining town. Or we were until the Adirans pulled out and left us with a half-dug mine shaft and something resembling an inn.
She thumps the sturdy wooden wall with her fist.
Since then, it's been a steady decline. You've seen the roads. Isn't much we can produce that the Valians can't ship cheaper.
It is what we do.
But the White Forge... Well, if we could fire it up again and start producing Durgan steel, or something close to it, wouldn't matter if we're in the White March or the Living Lands. Business would come.
She folds her arms and gives you a stiff nod. The young man says nothing, but he tosses a sliver of the apple peel into the fireplace. That's why you need my help.
That's the long and short of it. We're laborers and fisherfolk, not adventurers. But Durgan Steel could put Stalwart on the map again, open up the mines, bring in new business. We just need the White Forge.
She thumps the desk with her fist. Why is Durgan Steel so special?
Because you can shave stone with it, cleave cast iron in two, and the stuff's as rare as it is remarkable.
In her enthusiasm, Renegild shifts on the balls of her feet. She props one bent arm on the other, pointing distractedly toward the eaves of the house. Steel is steel. May be light and it may take an edge well, but per Komplanska, the legends grow with each passing year.
If we could make something even half as good, we'd have a market at our doorstep and work enough for all of Stalwart.
For a split second, her gaze flickers to Uldric. Maybe you should just, get the door open and then you can give tours into Durgan's battery. I think that's a good idea. Worked well for this other, place I used to know. How is it no one's gotten into Durgan's battery yet?
Where should I start? Ogres, blizzards, or sheer damned inaccessibility?
She takes the items off on her fingers.
It ain't for lack of trying, I'll tell you that much. Got untold riches in Durgan Steel lying just inside, and never mind the White Forge itself.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just inside the door, you open it up and it's right there.
The Adirans who first settled Stalwart tried to crack it. So did the Valians, and every other cocky adventurer with more metal than sense.
She folds her arms, shaking her head at a pitted floorboard.
But the place has a funny way of sealing itself up. Front door stays shut, the tower entrances are clogged with rubble, and it's been impossible to blast a way in.
Renegold trails off, and for a moment the room is silent before the popping and crackling of the fire. What happened to Durgan's battery?
It don't bear dwelling on. There's too many superstitions about that place as it is.
She waves her mangled hand in a broad crescent, averting her gaze.
Killed each other off. Or so the old books say.
He glares at Renegild through hooded eyes.
Plenty of tales to go around, but none of them open the battery. And the last thing people need is another reason to fear the place. Whatever it was, the other Pargrin dwarven settlements in the White March, Bone Picker, the Hawk, and the rest, emptied out not long after, moved to gentler, greener lands.
Had the right idea, if you ask me.
I don't see why you need the White Forge to make good steel.
Finally, someone talking sense.
He raises his knife and half-peeled apple to the fire in a dramatic gesture of exasperation.
Durgan Steel wasn't just good. It was some of the best. We need the best if we're going to keep Stalwart alive.
She glares at Uldric even while she speaks to you.
No one alive today has seen the White Forge, but the old stories tell that it was powerful, glowed white-hot, and gave off a steady, even heat, unlike any other furnace. Let better-schooled folk puzzle over how the thing was built. I just want to see it put to use.
Tell me about the Pargrin dwarves.
Pargrin's a word in their language. Means traveler. They've been wanderers for generations, but I couldn't tell you much more.
All right, any idea where I should begin?
The battery's up the mountain to the north, a good hike away.
She jerks her head in the direction of the slope behind the house.
Near Galvino's place, huh?
Uldric says it in a breezy tone, but Renegild falls suddenly silent, consternation hardening the lines of her face. He smiles and draws his knife across the apple again.
So it is. Though I was going to suggest dealing with that ogre camp before anything.
She compresses her thin lips into a frown. Who's Galvino?
Mestre Galvino, as the old crosspatch prefers it, lives by himself and keeps the wilder and beasts at bay through sheer foulness of his temper.
Sounds cool, maybe he'll join me.
She means to say he's a skilled smith and animancer, who's lived in the shadow of Durgan's battery for over a decade.
He looks over his shoulder at you and Renegild. I say that's worth mentioning. Sagani folds her arms.
And he butters his bread on both sides and fits his left shoe before his right. But that's neither here nor there.
That's kind of creepy that you know that about him. She crosses her arms and crumbles the page in one tightening fist. You seem flustered all of a sudden. Did he do something to anger you?
Me and the rest of the town. He knows better than to linger at our gates.
What happened with Galvanor?
Old lunatic finally went too far. And we sent word to the Valiant Academies. I don't like speaking on it, but if you want to get his guff, just remind him that we gave him the boot.
I see.
Ain't nobody here fond of the man, but he's a clever hand and a quick study. It's a fool who thinks he stayed so close to the battery without figuring something about it.
You said as much to the last party, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of them since. Maybe they didn't run afoul of Baragon's ogres after all.
She raises a gray eyebrow at him. Uldric shrugs and turns back to the fire.
Just watch your step. Galvino's place is a ways east of the battery, and folk who pass it bring unsettling tales.
Tell me about the ogre camp.
Belongs to Flames That Whisper, Matron Baragon's clan. Hunters tell me they've been active of late.
Hunting elk and otherwise minding their own damn business.
He pops an apple wedge into his mouth and chews it aggressively.
Minding their own business. Never mind the latest expedition's disappearance or the broken stockade.
She pinches the bridge of her nose, squinting.
I'm saying we shouldn't agitate him further.
He makes to toss another slice of peel into the fire, but he fumbles and drops his knife. He bends to pick it up, cursing. What does this matron have to do, if anything?
The brawl outside was just the latest patch of trouble. The ogre clans are getting bolder, and we'll all sleep easier knowing they aren't circling our walls. Also, Baragons like to have whatever the last expedition found. Rumor has it they disappeared near her turf.
She crosses her arms, looks over to Ulrich.
Killing a matron will only make our problems worse. The way to approach Baragon is with your hands held high.
If anyone could parley with an ogre, I suppose it'd be you. But they aren't known for their patience with prattle.
Hey, I did it once. Got it.
Good. Before you leave town, stop by the Grave's Rest. Most visitors to Stalwart spend some time there, so Hafric and his patrons may be able to give you the lay of the land.
Don't know about you, but I'm all parched all of a sudden. Actually, I want to ask you about something.
What's on your mind?
What can you tell me about Fira's expedition?
Who? Sorry, I don't recall the name.
Her brow furrows.
Last expedition I met disappeared weeks ago. Didn't give any names, but they definitely haven't come back this way. Don't mean the Sfeara weren't part of an expedition, though. We get groups passing by sometimes looking to try their luck. What's on your mind?
I want to know more about Stalwart.
Adir founded us back in their colonial days to supply ore to the Empire. Saw a fair bit of traffic from both sides of the White March then.
She rubs the nub of her shortened ring finger.
But after the Deerwood claimed independence, Defiance Bay found cheaper places to get ore. Didn't have much reason to maintain our supply routes.
Isn't Stalwart part of the Deerwood?
Officially. Though with the state the roads are in, you wouldn't guess it.
Tell me some of the more important places around town, even though I've probably been inside of them already.
Here in the center? Let's see. The Grave's Rest is next door. Hafric can set you up with a room and a hot meal there. The fishery's just on the edge of the lake, and the Temple of Andra is next to it. No one keeps a secret like Lavda. Or so I'm told. A few folk live in this part of town, too. Seemed a lot safer before the ogres broke through the western gate. Thiersch lives next to the old mine shaft, and Tana, the old mine overseer, is next door to me.
She jerks her thumb towards the wall. What do you do here?
I'm the mayor. Or so I'm reminded every time there's a game shortage, ogre attack, or a neighborly dispute. I'm a builder by trade, though. Traveled all over Air Glonfoth and the Deerwood in my younger days, but ended up back here anyway.
She gives you a vague smile that's gone as quickly as it appears. Let's talk about something else.
What's on your mind?
Can you tell me anything about the last expedition that went into Durgan's Battery?
They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask.
She scratches her jaw, frowning.
I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over.
She shakes her head as if dislodging a bad dream.
Wish I could tell you more.
Perhaps we'll find more in the battery itself, yes? Excuse me. He nods at you with a guarded look.
What's on your mind?
I have questions about Durgan's Battery and the White Marsh, or White Forge.
The Pargrin dwarves guarded it like a mother bear. It's a wonder we know as much as we do.
I'd asked you all about
What's
that
on your
stuff.
mind?
Farewell. And we got some leveling to do. Save his so I can up more of his survival. Accurate Carnage. Barbarian learns to line up his most savage blows, improving the accuracy of secondary attacks from Carnage. Whereas Stalwart Defense strengthens Savage Defiance, causes it to provide a bonus to all defenses. Once per encounter. Damage bonus against all beasts. Nah. Bloody Slaughter. All attacks at enemies with low endurance convert some hits to crits, and those crits do additional damage. That sounds like something that would be good for taking out weak enemies. I don't need to worry about that. Three times per rest. Ain't worried about defensive with him. You're pretty much a glass cannon. Gain an additional weapon set now. Let's see about maybe going with Accurate Carnage, because Carnage is becoming a useful thing. A deer. Man, you look awesome in that. That helmet, the shield, and the armor, and a weapon. He looks like a total badass right now. Bonus knockdown. What kind of defensive stuff do you got? Plus 10 reflex, plus 10 fortitude, plus 10 will, plus 10 defense against charmed, terrified, frightened, dominated, or confused attacks, plus 10 defense against paralyzed, weakened, stunned, sickened, or petrified. Plus 10 defense against all that stuff. Cautious attack. I'm not worried about attack with him. Plus 12 defense from disengaging. Superior deflection. Plus 5 deflection. I actually kind of dig that helmet. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because most helmets like you see like the horns kind of pointing up, but with his they're kind of pointing down. It's like a unique look. Kind of works for me. I'm gonna give you a bonus knockdown. Knockdowns are helpful. Endurance. You're gonna get survival. Talents. Interdiction. Condemns the priest foes, dazing only any enemies in the area of effect. Once per encounter. Aggrandizing radiance. Everyone receives less healing, but the priest gains a bonus. No, I remember that from before. Allies gain an accuracy bonus from Holy Radiance. Or bonus spells. Gunner. Plus 20 reload speed. I'm actually going to give you that, I think, right now. Because you spend a lot of time shooting things. I can maybe see that a little bit in the back of it. But yeah, that's one thing I do dig about this game. Some of these helmets and these hats and things are really cool looking. Not Pelagine, obviously, but Durance has the same kind of look that a deer has. Poor Aloth has just a simple little thing over his head. Need to get him like a big pointy wizard hat or something. Alright, let's check out Uldren.
Something else you need?
Do you know anything about Durgan's Battery?
It's a fool's hope. A fantasy that's kept these parts inhabited longer than they should be.
He glances around the old house and its worn furnishings.
They say the Pargrunan dwarves developed Durgan's steel, became powerful, rich, and then one day, they locked their doors and died.
He shrugs, turning his palms towards you.
Nothing like a mystery to stir folk up. Most of Stalwart is convinced that some Pargrin secret will save us all. But that don't stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the old fortress.
A sour smirk crosses his lips. Earlier, you said I should make peace with Matron Berrigan.
About the only thing folk here haven't tried. Killing one more matron won't change things for long. Besides, her clan's flames that whisper. The one that attacked us was Wolf with many mouths. I'd know him anywhere.
They're cut from the same cloth, Aldrich. Only a matter of time before Baragon marches through that gap in our walls.
At the sound of Renegild's voice, Aldrich's shoulders stiffen. His jaw works in a silent but furious retort. You seem to disagree with Renegild on quite a few matters.
Mother's convinced that a magic forge will turn this frozen crack into a hub of civilization. She can't accept this place is dying.
Indeed, made peace with... Yeah, can't you make peace with them and then they actually will join up with you against Gathbin? Or am I wrong about that? Because that was actually my plan, was to try to make peace with them. This is your home, you can't just give up on it.
Give up on what? There's nothing here.
He scrapes the sole of his boot on the straight but weathered floorboards. What do you do here besides complain and eat apples?
I'm a carpenter. Mother's a builder. So it felt like a good fit at the time.
Plus, you know she's your mother. He presses his lips into a wry frown.
Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade.
Yeah, then I'm definitely going to be trying to recruit them, because I like the idea of Gathbin just like expecting all this normal army to be fielded against him, and then all of a sudden here comes some ogres. He deserves it. Plus, ogre surprises are some of the best surprises.
Been looking everywhere for you.
Have you? Didn't we just talk? Yeah, you don't have anything new to tell me. Alright, let's see Tiana. And I go back and talk to a couple other people so I can get some advice about those 2 bounties. I don't have space for that. Save it after all that talking.
They gone? Have those nasty brutes finally left?
Like hours and hours ago. These teeth have been sanded smooth in preparation for carving.
I heard the ogres outside, tearing down walls and murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad.
The elderly woman kneads her hands. Her knuckles are swollen knobs and her palms are ridged with calluses that scrape and rasp as she rubs them together.
But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer.
Your voice sounds like I've heard it somewhere before. She squints at you, leaning precariously forward on her wobbling legs.
A real spitfire, she told me. Bet you'd whip those layabouts at the mine into shape.
I'd like to ask you about something.
Did you say something, dear?
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff. But I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance.
She taps her head, a spotted dome under a thinning thatch of hair.
Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much afore they finish the job.
She winks. That's all.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
Bye. She must come into play later. Not very talkative right now. Alright, so I want to check out the Temple of Andra again, even though I don't know if they're actually going to talk to me. Because Lafka, I think was her name, she's a little teed off at me.
Would you kill
Huh,
the messenger?
that's what I get for
If
asking
you were as
directions in the middle of
annoying as you,
nowhere.
I'd consider it.
Door appears to be barred from the inside. It does not budge. Okay, yeah, we're not getting hurt by said about those people. Let's go see, Thirsk.
Watch yourself on the mountain. In these lean times, everything looks like prey to something.
Ask some questions.
Coming to your elders for advice, is it? What can I do for you?
Theodore said I should talk to you before I head to Longwatch Falls. A good thing you did. Hot springs north of the road are crawling with Loggerfaith. I'm surprised Theodore found himself out there. The thing to know about Loggerfaith is they're fast, tolerant to cold too, so try another angle of attack. Like fire? Something seems to occur to him. He pats his pockets, clenching his pipe between his teeth. These will come in handy. Use them if you get in trouble. He hands you a few sealed bottles. The old hunter looks you up and down, puffing on his pipe. Gain an item. 2 times bottle of mirrored image. Okay. That's all the questions I have. Bye. Go listen to the window by the temple. I did that earlier, but I'll see if she's got anything new going on there. I remember they said to ask her about something, but might be too late for that now. Yeah, I did the window listening thing earlier. Won't let me listen to anything else. Alright, let's see. So we've got Longwatch Falls, and we've got the Russet Wood. And we've got Durgan's Battery. Let's head, because I don't know if I actually went to the Russet Wood before. Let's do the Russet Wood first.
Me and Sledge are thinking about heading down, joining a caravan over to Dawning.
Dawning? What for? You like your ogres bigger?
We'd have work at least, and I'm damn sick of fish.
Alright, so the Russet Wood. At least I don't think I've been here before in my previous playthrough. Before I go adventuring here, let me double check I don't have any text or anything. I don't. Okay. Save. 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 Alright, guys. I'm gonna put my pig in a stash. I don't think pigs would do very well in cold environments. Pull Joss back out.
Huh?
Joss likes snow. Winter Wolf. This wolf lies in the snow, panting with exhaustion and pain. An arrow has pierced his foreleg, jutting gruesomely from the animal's flank. The wolf growls softly as you approach, tail between its legs. We're going to examine the wound. I hope I can actually do something to help this guy. The wolf appears to have crossed the hunter's path. A silver arrow juts from the wolf's right foreleg, embedded a short distance into the limb. Even so, you suspect that trying to remove the arrow without knowledge and care could provoke further injury. Chanter. I wonder if I can come back here with Kana. Kana's on a mission. Shoot. Could temporary respect to get field triage. Wait a minute. I have an idea. Who's got the highest resolve? $10, 13, 15, 19. It has to be me, though, doesn't it? It has to be Liquid. I can't have Durance do this, for instance. And there's nothing that's going to boost my resolve up like all those points. Damn. All right. I would totally take Kana for this, but he's off. Oh, that's right. It has to be me. Shoot. All right, yeah, we're gonna have to respec. I've never done this before. So I go to the tavern.
You
for
work
that.
for the Dukes of the Valian Republics, huh?
For as long as they will allow.
Must be nice always knowing who you're supposed to serve.
Well, there are 5 of them, but even so. How?
Besides, I'm gonna feel really bad if I just gotta put that wolf down. I want to try to save it. It's the pet lover in me. Alright, let's go talk to the,
Nice and quiet.
I don't know why I did that.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? Nothing like a pint.
Retrain character. Okay, here we go. Would you like to reset Liquid to level 1? Excuse me. And assign new attributes, skills, talents, and abilities through level 10. It will cost $12.50. Let me save this first. And I also want to, take a quick picture of this because I want to make sure I respec him right with what he had. This way I can make sure I've got everything. This is just going to be a temporary thing. Alright.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I top quality bear?
Liquid, accept. Alright, so I need resolve at 16. Oops, wrong way. Let's drop your, this is gonna be temporary, so we'll drop all that. Next. Yes. I'll just respec him up to level 1. Because he has his resolve. We'll go finish this and then I'll go and set him back the way he was. That way I'm not doing it twice for no reason. Hirelings were paid. Alright, russet wood. After several attempts, Lord Sidrock's rival gave up on raiding his vaults. Having reclaimed his land, Lord Sidrock sends you his regards and his gratitude. Okay. Send some money, too. I like money. Beralt successfully arrived at Theonbog with the help of Hiravias. Beralt sends his regards and promises to visit your keep again soon. Alright, so those two things are done. Alright, hi, I'm back. I'm glad you're not dead yet. Calm the wolf. You approach the wolf slowly, speaking in low and calm tones. Gradually, the wolf stills, though it still gazes up at you fearfully. Alright, I'm going to try to remove the arrow. The eater moves forward to aid the animal. Your efforts to calm the wolf seem to have paid off, for the creature remains still, save for the occasional whimper. Adir carefully removes the arrow and unbind the wound. Barely an instant after Adir has finished, the wolf suddenly scrambles to his feet. It regards you for a few long moments and then sets off through the trees at a limping trot. Oh, so that's not what should have happened then? Like, it doesn't come back and like, hey, here's some money or something? So I'm good then. Okay. Either way, as long as it works. He seemed like he was alright. Plus his wound was binded, so Adir did it. Curio shop construction completed. That's good. Then let's build. What else we got here that's left? Let's do the botanical garden. Pull up my pictures and hope that my camera actually took the pictures, because sometimes it doesn't. Alright, there we go.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you? Top quality bear.
I'll just start from the beginning again. Alright, let's see. My stats were 18. 17. 17. 14. Wait a minute, why did my... Oh, this must have been my stats with all the other stuff added to it. Shoot. Alright. I think I kind of remember what my stats look like. I think my dexterity was a little bit lower. My might was like at 15. Constitution was down a bit. I had my perception really high. I'll go with that. As long as that's close to what I had with my gear on. Okay, frenzy. Next level. Exit. $18, $17. So I have one less constitution. Okay. Let's level up. Okay, absolute carnage we had. Savage Defiance we had. Talents we had. Greater Frenzy. Bloodlust. Two weapon style. One stands alone. Talents. Barbaric Blow. Thick-skinned. Savage Attack, Second Skin. Savage Attack. And that's it. Alright, so we're mostly back to normal. My stats are slightly off, but I could fix them another time. I'll do that off stream or something.
Right.
I'm off by like 1 point on a couple things. Alright, so save that. Now let's go back out into the Russet Wood, I think it was. Alright, we didn't get too far. Some nice ice looking stuff. It's very quiet around here. I say right before I get attacked. Oh, there's a lot of you. What is that? A feral druid? Oh man, there's a lot of you. Okay, Aloth, get back. Pelagina. Where the heck? Oh man, Durance, you're in the thick of it. Barnes, go after him. Liquid, go after him too. Scotty, who's this guy attacking? It's dead anyway. Alright, you guys all go after the druid.
Dead on!
Yeah, just shrug the lightning off. It's just lightning. People survive that all the time. Very talkative wolves for dead wolves.
Sure.
Money. Wizard's double potion. Stag helm. +2 athletics, +1 dexterity, immunity to stuck. Is that the same thing that you have? Fine hide armor. Fine hunting bow. That is. You know who else could probably use that? Oh, no, wait, never mind. +2 stealth. I kind of want you to have +2 stealth. Then again, affects character's actions. But you know what? No. Now you kind of look ridiculous with that. You look like you're gonna fall over or something, but that's all right. You're a hunter. You should have a helmet like that.
Huh?
Plus, you're a stealthy hunter that's wearing bright blue, so.
Right.
You're kind of off character as it is. Hello, Stag. Frozen camp over here. Got some meat. Nothing else going on. Ooh, what's this? This cracked wooden staff is nearly buried beneath the frost and snow. To your senses, the gathered essence shines like a beacon. Let's examine the area before we touch it. This camp is long abandoned, and what remains is buried beneath a layer of ice and snow. The staff seems to be the sole item of note. Let's touch it. That didn't sound creepy at all. You reach out with your watch's senses and feel this drifting soul surge forward as if eager to be heard. A feeling of fear and urgency ripples through you. Here, across the distance spanned by time and identity, you know only that you are out of time.
Did you think to escape me by climbing a mountain? I would have tracked you across the sea, thief.
Please, Master, have mercy! I kept the grimoire hidden safely away, and I can take you to it!
The book is nothing. If you had studied a little longer, you might have learned that. But no apprentice of mine will steal from me and live.
Wait, no!
Poof. Alright, so there's a hidden grimoire somewhere. Or other. Yeah, it doesn't exit out to anything that way. I'm gonna take this berries. Excuse me. Oh boy, Vampire is just what I wanted to see. Felisa, gently with the fingers are the best part. I don't want A slow smile creeps across her face at your approach. The other men and women look at you, their mouths filthy with blood and goblets of flesh. Well, hello there, handsome. What brings you to this part of the Russet Wood? Why don't you tell me what brings you here? The god of death has willed that we are to remain here as servants of the pallid night. There is a path to the wheel that some stray from. Patrons of animancy, the very old, blindly lucky. We set them right, and Bareth allows us to consume them, that we might continue his work until it is decided that we too have overstayed. But until then, we relish the journey. You're not that bounty I'm looking for, are you? I'm looking for an ogre matron. Oh, how nice. She's staring at you intently now and doesn't appear to have heard your answer. My, you look absolutely mouth-watering. She licks her lips. Roll your eyes. She and her friends rush at you. Alright. What do we got here? We got a Vampire Beguiler. That just sounds exactly like something that's going to charm the hell out of me. Felisa. A Vampire Skirmisher. Dargle. And a Dargle is right on top of me. Okay. Sagani, get over here. Itamok, go with her. You're going after the Beguiler. Durance is probably going to get nasty, so just use your heal right now. Or Armor of Faith, rather. Alof. Let's go ahead and... when in doubt, Fireball.
Ready, one.
Okay. Mark. Where is he at? The Beguiler. Itamok, you're probably going to get killed here. But I want you to circle around. Where's Dargle? Go right for this guy. Okay. Aloth, you're already confused. That's awesome. Durance, get back. Felisa, you just hang out right there. Durance, I want you, because we're not playing with these guys. Holy Pillar of Fire. Right on top of this mess. Pelagina. Flames of Devotion. On. Skirmishers are almost dead already. That's good. Alright, Itamok's dead. But I bought a little bit of time. The only thing that sucked is this Dargle, and I think that might be it. But Aloth needs to get the heck out of being charmed, or he's gonna pay real quick for it. Pelagina wants you to hold off, or not. Just let her walk right around you like it's football or something. Oh crap, Durance is confused. Oh, Itamok's still alive. Okay. Aloth, get away. Durance, you're not confused anymore. Okay. Let's drop fire on these guys. I think the others are going to be okay. Aloth. Fireball. Wounding shot on the Beguiler. Itamok, go after the Beguiler. Everything else around here is killed, so Adir, Liquid, and Pelagina can just wreck Felisa here.